Good evening and very warm welcome to our studio here in Islamabad. Well, when we talk about organizational development in Pakistan, there is one area where we do not have much understanding, and that area is human resource. What do you think when you talk about human resource? Usually people answer, it's all about hiring and firing. Well, not really. What exactly is human resource and how is Pakistan developing in this special sector? This is our topic today, and joining me here in my studio is Mr. Zahid Mubarik, who is Manager Organizational Development of Khushhali Bank. And I can see you've got a very impressive resume with Certified Global Professional in HR from United States, MA International HRM from United Kingdom, MBA for HRM from Pakistan, and then you're also a member of SHRM in United States. A very warm welcome to you, Mr. Mubarak. Starting off, as I said, not much understanding about the sector of human resources rampant in Pakistan. What are the reasons and what exactly is the status of human resource here?
Right. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. This is a very interesting question. You know, most of the people, they need a clarity on this account. Basically, when you talk about the human resource, it's a combination of the two, aspects. One is the people management, and other is the process management. Now, the people management is being done by the line managers in the business, who actually deal with the employees on the shop floor. Whereas all the processes in terms of the hiring, training, compensation, and rewarding employees relations, their performance management, it is done by the HR department. So, as a concept, when you talk about the human resource management, it's basically the people management and the process management. And more than 50% of the job is being done by the line managers in the business, and I would say the less than 50% by the HR itself. But the custodian.
Really? Is that only in Pakistan or is it around the world?
This is around the world. This is what I'm saying. This is what is supposed to be done. This is what's supposed to be there. But unfortunately, in Pakistan, the concept is that I normally ask these questions also because I've been teaching at the various institutions also in the past as a visiting faculty. So when I ask people why you don't want to join a HR profession, they said we are very good in dealing people. I said that in HR management, direct dealing with the people is not there. You basically deal with the people through
through a process.
Yes.
But then generally, I worked in the United Kingdom. Over there, HR is a lot in the background, and it's usually, as you said, people to people dealing between the management and the other organizational structure. So what exactly is HR doing then?
HR has broadly got four main functions: staffing, it's developing people through training and development, their compensation management, and the employees' relation. These are the four vital areas that HR is supposed to do. Now, whether they do it or not within an organization, that depends upon the type of the organization and their interest in the promoting and developing their own people. But these are the four key functions as far as the HR is concerned.
What is the human capital measurement metrics then?
Yeah, that's it. Basically, when you talk say that there are four different areas within the HR, it's basically the acquiring people, developing people, supporting people, and retaining people. So you say that HR is basically a product. It's a service. HR is called a business partner. It doesn't conduct the business by itself. It just supports the business, right? So we say that HR itself is a product which you give to the internal customer. And when you buy a product as a customer, there are 5 attributes that you look at. What are those 5 attributes? That is time, right? Cost, its quantity, quality, and error rate, right? These are the 5 possible areas to measure. Normally in the human resource management, the people, they have an extensive focus on the cost. But how about the other 4 factors, like time to hire in one of the measures? This is not upfront a cost measure, but if there is a delay in hiring a person, see the productivity loss at the workplace. So indirectly, that is also a loss of revenue, or it's also a cost to the organization. So with the help of human capital measurement metrics, you quantify and you translate that time to hire into monetary terms.
This is human resource capital measurement.
Measurement, yes.
So how do you do a measurement of human resource itself?
This is by itself. I'm giving you one example. Take example of hiring also only. Cost per hire is one measure, right? Time to hire is another measure. Quality of hire. You induct 2 people. After 6 months, you evaluate them.
Right.
One is giving marginal performance, the other is giving an outstanding performance. So definitely the person with the outstanding performance is going to take the organization somewhere else because he's a better performer. So you first of all, you measure it. You measure it that what is the outcome of your hiring, is it effective or not, right? You take another perspective like error rate. You hire a person, within a month or say within a year, there's a premature attrition. The person leaves the organization. Because of any reason, maybe it was an inappropriate hiring or inappropriate match, or because of that reason, again, there's a loss to the organization. So when you measure, all these things become obvious with you. And you can share with the, first of all, you understand it yourself, that what are the outcome of entire this activity that I've taken, that I've gone through. And that later on, when you share with your people, it's very rewarding, and you can classify each and every component of the HR in a numerical form. And because business, when you talk about the business people, they're not interested in talking about the process of the HR, like succession management, career management, hiring, training and development. They don't only talk in two terms. One is the inputs. They give you resources in monetary terms, and they are also interested in the output and the monetary terms. So basically, this is a medium of conversation in the business community, that as an HR professional, we say, when we say that we are the business partner, so we talk in a business terms with the people. This is a new science of human resource management.
It is indeed a new science. It sounds very interesting to me. But what is there for a businessman? Why should he invest in HR? What are the benefits of using these measurements?
Ultimately, it's the payoff. If the business person is investing more in the HR, their productivity is going to increase. Their retention rate in the organization is going to improve. Ultimately, when the attrition gets down, their recruitment cost is going to come down. Right? You develop a brand in the organization. The talented people would prefer to come to your organizations, and you understand that when you have the better people with a better IQ in your organization.
But can I, sorry for cutting you in between, but I want to ask you a question, because with modern times, trends are changing. Like previously in various fields, we thought that one person would stick to a job for years, but with the expansion in private sector, it's not the case anymore. So do the companies want to retain their staff? Is it in their benefit, or is it better to let people go and get fresh blood?
Yes. Again, this is true that these days, the average, on average, an employee switches over the jobs 4 to 5 times in the entire service cycle. This is a fact. Now, this we've admitted. That means that at least 4 to 5 years, when you join an organization, the organization expects you to stay there for at least 4 to 5 years, because there's some investment in the form of a training and a recruitment. So if you happen to stay there for at least this much of time period, that means you have paid back to the organization. But if you tend to leave the organization before that, that means that is a premature, attrition. No organization would like to lose a person, first of all, investing in a person and then losing it prematurely, because ultimately, again, they have to induct a person. Yes. So organizations, yes, they are interested in retaining the employees, maybe not for a very long duration, but up to at least a period when at least their payback period is complete.
Okay, now coming back to the measurement guide, are there any principles involved? Because there is also a human angle to it. The way we are measuring sounds very scientific, very calculated, but there are human beings we're hiring. There could be an emergency, there could be an emotional trauma going in somebody's life in that period. How do you evaluate such factors?
Yes, it definitely is guided by certain principles. First and the foremost, the thing is that we take time to measure something. It's not outrightly that a person attends a training today and tomorrow you expect that kind of optimum performance from that person.
You didn't come, you need to go back home right now.
Yeah, exactly. The person needs to take time to go back to the workplace, the time to practice all the things that are learned, and then produce the desired performance. So it is always recommended to use measure after some time frame, one thing. And secondly, you do it periodically. Say if you measure on the year end this year, the next measurement should come next year, so there's a consistency in the measurement. These short-term surges are bound to occur, but in the longer run, all these things, minor things, they get balanced out.
Okay. My last question to you, Mr. Mubarik, how do you see the future of human resource in Pakistan?
I would say this is brilliant. But at the same time, I say that there are a lot of these challenges. There's a lot of challenge for the HR professionals, unless they do not upgrade themselves constantly on the pattern of finance, like the way they are certified. Because an education the maximum shelf life of any of the concept of the tool is 4 to 5 years. After that, a person has to upgrade himself or herself, and get to know what all is happening in the market. One, and secondly, the business people, the HR people, as long as they want to excel and they want to lead this profession, they have to understand the business fully, because HR is a subset of the business. So, so the HR people, I would say that they need to know the entire processes, the structure, the products, and the customers. Because without knowing the business, you're not in a position to contribute toward the business. So definitely the future seems very bright, but the responsibility is also very high.
The responsibility is high indeed. Mr. Mubarak, thank you very much for joining us here on CNBC. This was all from Islamabad studio. We spoke on the role of human resource in Pakistan. What are the developments that have happened, and what is the future for human resource in Pakistan? This is all from Islamabad. Now back to the studio in Dubai.
The approval of 7th National Finance Commission award by all 4 provincial and federal governments as a very important and welcome development, reflecting political will to resolve key issues. The award was due for the past 13 years but could not be announced because of a lack consensus between the centre and provinces. The 4 provinces had approved the award in Gawada. The President signed the award at a ceremony attended among others by Prime Minister Yusuf Raza Gilani, ministers, 3 provisional governors and the 4 chief ministers. Speaking on the occasion, the President said Rs 110 billion would also be paid to Khyber Pakhtunkhwa as it shares in net hydel profits. He said Rs 10 billion had been paid for the current financial year and Rs 25 billion per year will also be paid for the next 4 years. The award stipulates that Balochistan will be given Rs 83 billion from the province's share in the divisible pool in the first year. Any shortfall in the amount shall be met by the federal government. Terming the accord a historical achievement of the government, President Zardari said, "It is a victory of democracy, political parties and all the provinces and the success of the policy of reconciliation. I feel that democracy has taken a leap forward. We are trying to lay the foundation of a new Pakistan by adhering to the spirit and vision of Mohtarma Benazir Bhutto."
And that's it for another episode of Pakistan This Week. You know we'd like to hear from you, so don't be shy and write in to ptw@cnbcpakistan.com. That's ptw@cnbcpakistan.com. Join us again next week at the same time as we explore Pakistan together. And keep watching CNBC.
Chemical just